million in damages from the Japanese car maker. Linda?
Well, nearly 3 years ago, the Lexicon Corporation of Miami burst on the calculator scene with a pocket-sized device that could translate languages. But the product never translated into profits, and Lexicon soon found itself in financial trouble. Now the company expects to be out of the red this year for the first time in its history. In tonight's Focus segment, Channel 2's Michael Silver looks at the company's troubles and its road to recovery.
For a few months in early 1979, the Lexicon LK3000 looked like it might become the hottest consumer electronics product on the market. The device resembled a pocket calculator, but could translate one language into another. The media was intrigued almost as much by the company's chief executive as by the product. Anastasios Kyriakidis was his name, and he never tired of telling how he had arrived in America as an impoverished immigrant from Greece, and how he had dreamed of building a translation machine. He carried his success story to magazines, newspapers, and television.
This week from Hollywood, it's the Merv Griffin Show.
But while Kyriakidis was boasting about his success to Merv, company officials back in Miami saw a different story.
At that time, we were roughly $2 million in debt. Our suppliers were threatening to cut off shipment of product to us. The creditors were essentially beating the door down. At that time, we were in a very, very tough position in terms of trying just to survive, much less set the world on fire with translator sales.
Michael Levy is the engineer who turned Kyriakidis' dream of a translation machine into a reality. But Levy readily concedes that the language translator was a flop, a $300 toy that was about as useful as a $2 dictionary.
It was a gimmick-oriented product, and it really did not have the staying power that it would have needed in the consumer marketplace. It had translations for certain phrases, but if the phrase you wanted to use was not in the vocabulary, it was useless and would come up not found. We did manage to book a lot of early orders, but the orders were booked prior to the consumer actually having the translator in his hands.
Kyriakidis' moment of glory was short-lived. Levy and other company stockholders forced him to resign. Although Kyriakidis remains his honorary chairman and continues to receive a salary, he was stripped of all responsibility. Lexicon sold the rights to the translator to a West German company and began the search for another business. Its first new product was a modem, the device that allows computers to communicate over telephone lines. Lexicon's modem is aimed at the growing personal computer market.
Our modem was unique in that it was designed for the consumer marketplace. Most modems were, up to this time, were gray boxes that sat in the background in a computer room. Our modem looks like a consumer-oriented product, and it has a very low price associated with it, with good performance characteristics.
But Lexicon's best hope for the future is a combination computer terminal and printer that weighs 5 pounds and is the size of a sheet of notebook paper. Lexicon says this is the smallest and lightest terminal printer on the market.
It's truly a portable computer. We're able to carry this terminal with us any place that we want to go. It fits into just half of a briefcase, and then, rather than taking up a lot of space or becoming a piece of luggage, it can go with a businessman, a salesman, an executive, anybody that needs to travel and get a hold of their computer in order to prepare bids, develop information, anything along that line.
A new stock issue last February brought in $3 million and gave Lexicon some financial breathing space as it tries to develop new products. While the language translator is gone for good, the company is applying the same technology to a line of handheld computers it will introduce soon. These devices enable computers to be used on almost any job site. The Department of Defense has given Lexicon an order for 700 prototypes of the model for testing. Company executives believe that if Lexicon continues to market high-technology products that are simple to use, but avoids the gimmicks that marked Lexicon's early years, the company can grow and prosper to a point far beyond the limits of a language translator. This is Michael Silver for the Nightly Business Report.
Although